All right, we got it now. I think we got it now. All right, sorry about that. Looks like I already missed a bunch of stuff. Yeah, this is the new computer. All right, I think we're good now. Hi everyone. I'm gonna just call it here, and then we'll get everyone synced up eventually. Ah, it's 10-0. Wow, the game is already over. That's karma for me right now. All right, maybe I should just go back and watch that during this break. Yeah, still working on getting everything going here. All right. Need to actually get into how do I get back into this where I was before? That's the question. Sorry, this is so miserable. I apologize. It's been a long day even before this. If anyone wants to give me a summary of what happened when I missed this, yeah, I'm now trying to find the assist tab that I had open previously. See if I can get that. Nope, that's not it. There we go. All right, manage stream. There we are. All right, now I can actually sync us up. Yeah, the OKC starting with Hartenstein and Dort would not have been my choice. All right, I'm going to try to uh, get us synced up here momentarily. So they get it in balance here. Looks like they're sticking with the same group. As Shai gets into the lane, good Gortat screen set, but Wembanyama still bothered it. Tipped out, though, by Hartenstein. Here's Dort going to try to drive. And nope, he just lost it. And now Wembanyama has a 3-on-1. Fox finishes easily 12-0 San Antonio. This is an absolute avalanche. And I know that because I totally saw the first 10 points of it. Shai, stop. They get another turnover. Castle. Wembanyama running over Dort. They don't call it. Beautiful no call. Here's a three from Vassell up top. It's 15-0. Mitchell still with Fox on him. Hartenstein looking to hand back. Backdoor Mitchell, they don't even look that way. Holmgren going to work in a 4-5 pick and roll. Vassell gets over it. This is just where was he going to go with that? He's going to run pick and roll against that. Now Shai gets the ball somehow. Victor coming over. Hartenstein's got to float it up. Oh, that was beautiful by Victor. He knew exactly the only shot he could go to. And I really wish they didn't call that a shot clock violation, honestly. Man, OKC's offense is getting absolutely nothing so far. Caruso is in now to try to stanch the bleeding. They still haven't scored. Dort remains in the game as well. They took Chet out. Finally, a miss from San Antonio. Caruso back to Hartenstein, looking to involve Shai. Victor doesn't step out yet. Now he does. Shai is kind of trapped there. Dort coming to the ball. Not too worried about him. He goes in a weird circle. That's a pretty contested three there by Caruso. Not the variety he's been taking throughout the series. Castle feels he has the advantage on Mitchell. Knocks him backwards. Corner. Caruso with the help. Vassell missing the three. Shai looking to push. Victor is back. He and Mitchell almost run into each other. Dort, oh, that's a bad job by Castle going for that shot fake. He was right there. Let Dort just shoot that over you. And sorry, our sync looks like it's way off now as Fox gets another easy layup in the half court. Now Caruso hitting the baseline jumper, and finally OKC starting to score a little bit. Fox has looked solid so far. He's gotten a couple easy lips. Guns the pass weak side, but Caruso was ready for it. This is only a 2-on-3, however. Good transition defense. And oh, Champetti just takes it away from Caruso, and he's gonna lay it in. This Spurs defensive pressure has been absolutely insane. I can't wait to check the stats at the next break. Mitchell with Castle all over and tries to get baseline. Victor is there. And again, that's what we've seen so often in the series. Penetration, but the Spurs don't react to it. They try to throw it out to a shooter, and the guy's just covered. And yeah, that Fox looking pretty mobile there, stepping around Caruso on that move. And that should have been an and one there in favor of Champetti. Got hit in the elbow. Fox will sit down here. Jalen Williams is in to match Cornette. This is something they did in game 2, trying to go, and they're going to try to have Cornette hang out in the baseline here on Casey Wallace. They're trying to really space out Cornette with this group. Wallace up top, McCain. They're going to get a wide open three immediately, but McCain missed it. McCain had 4 offensive rebounds in game 2. Shai out to Cason Wallace for 3, and that's good. 19-7 is the score. This is a group where I think OKC can look a lot better. We'll see how Dylan Harper looks with that groin strain. Kicking it out. Castle, he's way behind the line. That's a little aggressive as far as I'm concerned. Good gang rebound by OKC. Gilgeous-Alexander has not gotten into the action so far. He's going to work on Harper, test out that groin. Harper looking like he's moving pretty good. I think it's really more an issue with both he and Fox of possible re-injury. Good double by Castle, but somehow Shai got it to Caruso, and he rims it in. Oklahoma City stabilizing here after the 15-0 start, and Mitch Johnson wants to talk it over. All right, bear with me here as I continue to get the old windows ready. All right, got the sync going. Score bug. And let's check out some stats. Yeah, luck-adjusted score right now thinks it should be 18-9. And that's because of the lack of paint pressure in part by OKC. Shot charts, all in the paint, 4 for 4 for the Spurs. They are 3 of 4 from the field in transition. And Oklahoma City has 1 miss at the rim, and they're 1 of 3 upper paint. And they've even had 2 mid-rangers blocked. Oklahoma City has 42% offensive rebounds, but they've turned it over on a third of their possessions. And Spurs already have 2 pick sixes, 6 points off steals, and all 7 transition points to 0 right now for San Antonio. And usually, of course, it's OKC doing that. Spurs need to go to the Bryant at the 5, look some against the 5 out. Yeah, I think that might be a possibility. Could be an in-season tournament final rematch. Knicks Spurs. Yeah, it could be. And that would be a pretty interesting series, I think, if it does happen. I mean, I'm really excited here that Harper and Fox are playing. I'm just worried about the possibility of re-injury for both of them. See, get a few. This is not an AJ Mitchell series. I really think he should be playing more in these minutes, actually, when Wembanyama is off the floor. But there are only so many Wemby off minutes that you can rely on, right? So we're back now to see if OKC can get back into this game. They've already cut 6 points off the lead. Castle against Wallace, 1-on-1. Wallace reaching in. Caruso comes from behind. He's ready. Doubles, then gets back, too. That was great defense by Caruso. He's somehow there. And what do we have here? An offensive 3 seconds, looks like, on the Spurs. And that was Alex Caruso. We've talked about how these great defenders now try to time up that slow step from behind as a help defender. Castle finally throws it out to Johnson, and Caruso was there, too. Caruso changing the angle of the screen. Gilgeous-Alexander, pick and pop. That's the right pass. Caruso, 0 for 2. Now Johnson going up against McCain. He can get right past him. Jalen Williams with good early help. They move it. Harper fires a 3. He has not had the outside touch. McCain, he's really impressed as a rebounder in this series. Williams looking to change sides of the floor. He says, no, go screen for Shai. He's right there. Now they have Luke Cornett in the corner on McCain. They kick it out to him. Peel switches late. A lot of open threes going wanting for the Thunder right now. Williams will try another, and that's good. Back to 6, and as good as the Spurs started, OKC was not going to go away that easily. They are a really tough team to blow out. Castle got Caruso on his back. Beautiful alley-oop there to Cornett, correctly deducing that Jalen Williams is vertically challenged. There's the screen set at half court. Shai triple teamed. Williams looking for 2 in a row. He could do that. 5-point game. This strategy of going 5 out against Cornett has really bothered the Spurs the last 2 games. Harper tried to slip past Williams, who's been excellent so far. Shai, he's got McCain, missed him. That should have been an easy layup. Instead, McCain getting out to the corner. Run off the line. Wallace will try. Getting past Johnson. Johnson recovered and fouled him. And again, you can see there's no Luke Cornett at the rim because he's spaced out. I think Mitch Johnson really needs to think about going to Carter Bryant in this spot. And they've given up a little bit inside because Jalen Williams, he's still a good help defender. He just can't jump at all. But they are beating him up. They're getting wide open threes or layups every possession right now. I will be interested to see whether they stick with a similar alignment here. Now they're actually going to take Shai out now. So Chet's going to come in, and he was the first sub. Do they go back to AJ Mitchell here? Mitchell said that he just got kneed in the quad, so he was hopefully okay. They're not going back to AJ Mitchell yet. Instead, they're going double big. So this is an interesting approach here. Going now, Chet for Shai is the sub. Castle on the attack, guns it weak side. This is Johnson loading up. Pass was at his feet, didn't matter. That was probably the right closeout strategy by Chet, but he made it. Now both teams are 4 of 8 from downtown. Good pressure by Harper. McCain on a quick attack. Shoots over Vassell, who wasn't prepared. Nice attack there by McCain. He really gives them some nice offensive pace as Fox and Wembanyama looking to return. Weak side, Castle getting past Caruso. Good help by Chet. Swallowed up there, knocked out of bounds. It'll remain Spurs ball. Good help by Chet Holmgren as Caruso was behind Castle, but forced Castle to go into Holmgren. And now the game, of course, will change with Wembanyama returning. Holmgren will match up with him individually as we have starting to see more in this series now. And Mitchell is back too. Again, he's probably their best driver and finisher at the rim. I'd like to see him without Wembanyama out there. Not that things didn't go well for them in the non-Victor minutes. Harper looking to get to that left hand. Help with the gap. Fox 3, missed it. That's what you have to do there because otherwise the big has to stay back on Wembanyama. So you have to get that gap help and give up the 3 on the weak side. Fox couldn't make it. Pick and pop Chet. Switched on to McCain, going to try to just go at Victor. Good Gortat screen set by Chet, but McCain couldn't knock it down. Fox in the corner. Johnson looking for 2 in a row. Nope. Vassell flew in, but got it blocked from behind by Holmgren. What a play there. And looks like we're going to have a loose ball foul on the Spurs. Yeah, Vassell likes to hit the offensive glass, but is prone to going over the back on occasion. This is great. That was really good camera work showing how he's trying to practice for just being held and getting away from it. That is awesome. I love that they had the cameras out there showing him working on that before the game. Victor Wembanyama, just seeing that's what he decided he was going to prepare for as Fox gets called for a push here on Holmgren. That's one thing you will see more when guys are injured. They use their hands more. They push a little bit more because they're not confident in their ability to move their body. Mitchell switched onto by Bryant, and we're going to get another hold here. Is that Fox once more? Yeah, this will now be free throws. This is 3 fouls over the last possession and a half here, essentially, by the Spurs to get into the bonus, slow the game down, and take the crowd out of it with these free throws. Although, helps to make them. Gilgeous-Alexander still on the bench, and we'll see if they come back to him pretty quickly now. But that's especially damaging to bail out the Thunder with a foul when you have Victor on and Shai off. Now Fox looking pretty quick into the corner. Bryant He'll penetrate the paint. Johnson fires that same three again. He's getting progressively worse with them. Wallace engages Victor. Now they move it. Weak side. Mitchell, good pass. Can't cash it out. Champagny circles back for the rebound. Spurs guards need to do a better job of rebounding. Now Champagny going to break the paint. Victor sizing up Chet. You know he wants this. Good gap by Wallace. Good stunt by Mitchell. Fox now will fire the three. That was really good patience by Fox to just let the stunt retreat. Yes. And now nobody's guarding Case and Wallace. Fox didn't know who was trying to get somebody to guard him. They get back into position, though. I was starting to say that was really good patience by Fox on the other end to let the stunt retreat. Now Mitchell trying to draw the foul. What extension there. A.J. Mitchell with a beautiful finish. Gilgeous-Alexander remains at the table. Champagny pick and pop, picked up by McCain. Wembanyama in a good area here. Where's the help going to come from? He's going to go right through Jet. No, got to take it away. McCain with two Spurs trying to run him down. I don't think this is it. Wow, what a finish. It is it. I thought Carter Bryant was going to pin that. Nice footwork. Johnson. Oh, he had Wembanyama open. Wembanyama was pissed off that Johnson didn't see him. Johnson is really a poor passer. I don't know how you missed the 7'6" guy wide open at the rim. Champagny cornered Johnson again. He'll try. Now, tunnel vision again. Great verticality by Mitchell without fouling. Mitchell gets into the paint again. Kicks out. No, Wembanyama with the deflection. Transition for the Spurs. Johnson. Williams setting up for the charge. Back to Victor. Stopped by Chet, but a foul. Oh, that was almost a great block. This series just has so many great players making so many great plays over and over again. And they're going to say, actually, yeah, Jalen Williams, Chet actually got him clean, but maybe he doesn't if Williams doesn't foul him first. Yeah, that with Victor was so good. Just watching him practicing getting held as he tries to go over and help as he misses the free throw, though. Check out this replay here. Mitchell on the drive. I mean, that extension, maybe he was trying to draw the foul. So Bryant is out. What did y'all think of his first stint? I don't know how Mitch isn't going to Barnes the second. By the way, guys, if Tim Duncan and David Robinson can wear the shirt, sitting next to R.C. Buford, by the way, if those guys can wear the shirt, R.C. Buford not wearing the shirt, then, all you bigwigs who are so cool sitting courtside in San Francisco and New York, you can wear the shirt too. Although they don't even give the shirts out in New York. Here's Williams in the corner. Shai fresh back into the game. Williams missed that. We're seeing our first look at the French vanilla setup now for the Spurs. Harper didn't play much in his stint. This is Fox is the only guard. Wembanyama firing from way out. Yeah, it's almost, he probably likes that setup because then he could just be the guard that he's always wanted to be, shooting threes. And now, with Hartenstein in, two bigs, they are matching the two bigs. Shai stopped by Vassell, thought he got hit on the arm. It'll be Thunder ball, however, and now maybe there's a foul here, and they're going to try to get approximate foul. Here, though, is Victor first on the pick and pop. I think there's probably going to be a foul on Shai is what they're going to argue if the ball did just go out of bounds. Although somebody hit the ball first, didn't they? So they're going to go Dort. Now, it's so interesting how both teams are kind of trying to do the opposite of what the other one is doing as far as going big, going small. Why does Tim Duncan look older than David Robinson? Yeah, David Robinson, he may just be a cyborg. It's that Navy lifestyle. So what do we have here? So Jalen Williams does hit the ball out of bounds. is the argument going to be that he was being fouled? Because that would be free throws for OKC. It clearly goes out of bounds off Jalen Williams. Yeah, so yeah, Victor has his arm there. Wow, man, that Victor Wembanyama he can't stop himself from grabbing people's arms. That's all he wants to do. Yeah, these grappling calls are so tough because like Jalen Williams gets his arm into Victor too. And then he's like kind of grabbing. Yeah, I mean, it's probably a foul on Victor. Why isn't Barnes playing over Keldon Johnson? They just need more guys who can dribble. And Barnes just doesn't really do anything out there. Johnson's a pretty good offensive rebounder. But yeah, his tunnel vision doesn't play too well against OKC. Wembanyama doesn't dribble in his free throw routine. Let's see here. Yeah, you guys probably can't see this. This is a dubious foul to me, maybe, because yeah, I mean Victor's like kind of holding him, but Jalen Williams also puts his arm into Victor's chest, and like he's not really holding him. His arm is just kind of there. I think they'll probably give him the proximate foul here. Let's see what Mark Davis has to say. Yeah, what irony. Although we haven't seen the Wembanyama-Hartenstein matchup all that much yet. He's out right now. And so Jalen Williams will get 2 free throws. All right, guys, what do you think? What is Jalen Williams' free throw percentage on the year? I'm going to say he is a 78% foul shooter. He doesn't get fouled much. All right, so Williams hits a couple there. Jalen Williams shot 79.3% from the line, is a 77% career free throw shooter. Wembanyama at Caruso goes in. Is this going to be another charge? It is. Victor Wembanyama, end of the half. End of the quarter, excuse me. He has picked up his second. And Jalen Williams, his nemesis, has gotten 2 fouls on him in the matter of 20 seconds. All right, I'm going to take a brief break here since I'm doing solo. Need to preserve the voice to make it through the whole game. All right, we're back here. Uh, yeah, percentage of shots at the rim are from three. OKC 64%, San Antonio 96. Yeah, Spurs are 6 of 14 from three, and Oklahoma City is 4 out of 10. But Spurs are only 5 of 11 from two. Let's check the old shot charts here. Actually, I could always just share my screen with you guys if you want to see. Yeah, Spurs are only 5 of 10 at the rim. They've had 2 of those shots blocked and have gotten 2 fouls. Let's go for the seam screen share here. Oh, Adam Silver is here. Oh, there you go. That's why that's why they're calling a grabbing foul now. Here, actually, I can only share one screen at a time, so I can't show you because that would make us lose the score. But soon enough, Dunked on Prime subscribers. And thanks to those of y'all who are giving us these tips. That's awesome. Appreciate that, Clint, and those of you who did that before already. Makes me feel good to do this since we're not actually getting paid right now. So Castle is back in the game. Shai looking to reject the screen. Goes at Fox. Wembanyama is out on Dort. Holmgren shooting immediately. Wow, that's the type of shot that if Chet Holmgren can make regularly in this series and frankly in his career, it's really going to make such a difference. Shai did not score in the first, but the Thunder did score. That's the important part of it. Chet in pick and roll defense against Fox. Fox getting into Chet. Wembanyama didn't really make himself available on that play after Fox penetrated. Fox going to just shoot over Chet. Rebounded by Williams. Fox not moving perfectly right now, and I think it's also interesting that Harper has not played too much either. Shai forced to pick up his dribble in an awkward area. Should have stayed on the ball. Williams did well to go and give him a pressure relief valve. Now Shai against Carter Bryant. This will be interesting. Down to 5. Shai, step back. Good late contest, and it didn't matter. Better shot. Man, this is a high-level series. And the Thunder now lead it. Now Bryant going at Jalen Williams. Jalen Williams just took it from him and looked at him, too. Shai going to push it. He's got Champagnie, who he likes to go after. Gets it to Chet early. Back to Shai. Now Shai has the whole side. Victor coming over. Shai, perfect pass. Good rotation, though. Dort couldn't get it to Williams, who was open. Good stunt by Bryant. Shai gets it back. This has been great defense by the Spurs. Left-handed pass. Williams, quick release. Yes, sir, his third three-pointer. Fox, ooh, he was close to a backcourt violation. Bryant in the corner. He fires the three. Man, and he has made shots in these playoffs. And they are going to Bryant over Harrison Barnes. They get the switch of Champagnie. Look where the Spurs are, though, in terms of the elbows. Chet on the drive. Has Williams in the corner. Bryant runs him off. Williams tried to draw the foul. Took an awkward 21-footer in the corner. Here's Fox. He has the advantage against Jalen Williams. Goes through him and scores. That's exactly what they need from De'Aaron Fox. With Victor underneath, no help could come. Now Shai getting past 2 defenders. Victor comes over underneath Wallace. Beautiful cut there as no Spur got second help. But where Wallace was, it was difficult. He was behind the backboard. Fox picked up by Dort. Now Castle gets into his catch and shoot, and he knocks that down. Castle and Bryant, 2 of the iffy shooters, knocking down shots for San Antonio. Shai against Bryant again. I like this, too, because it gives Castle a rest. Shai went to the step back, not even close. Dort on the offensive glass. And, man, Wallace, that is a beautiful play there. He threw it up the moment he caught the ball. He knew that Chet was underneath there. Tied at 39. Victor trying Chet. Knocks it backwards. Chet gets back into contact. Bryant moves it. Castle's wide open for 3. Good .5 basketball by the Spurs, but they can't cash it out or get the offensive rebound. Yeah, look at that pass by Shai around Wembanyama, and Fox got beaten. Fox with good penetration, finished it actually with the right hand. And then Wallace gets it immediately over Victor, and Chet with the finish underneath. Harper is back in now. McCain is in. And this would normally be when Wembanyama would sit. Let's see if he's out also. Nope, he's going to stay in the game. Shai off the Dort screen, switched onto by Castle. Castle still bothering Shai. Shai stepping in. Man, that's just too good also. This game might even be higher level than the first two so far. Harper going to try Wallace. Barnes at the elbow getting his first tick. They want to screen away for Wembanyama, who gives Chet a shove. Here's Bryant getting past Gilgeous-Alexander. Wow, that's a good pass by Carter Bryant. Barnes in the corner. Harper working the glass. He'll score it on Wallace. And Chet, he's on Wembanyama. He never even thinks about getting back for a rebound there. He'll set the screen now. And good pressure by Harper on Wallace. Wallace is stuck. Oh, he got it to Chet barely. Chet's going to try Victor. This isn't going to go well. Kicks it back out. Wallace, tough fadeaway with 5 on the clock. Not a good possession. Shai never touched it. McCain never touched it. Bryant has Victor. Set the screen to involve Dort. Slips out of there. Wembanyama tries to draw the foul, and he'll go to the line. Yeah, let's see the hand fighting here. Shai. I mean, not too much. Like, that's all legal. That's just a shoulder. He's got 2 hands on the ball. Can't complain about the off arm on that one. That's just being strong. He is definitely wiry strong. Yeah, big as Wembanyama missing another free throw. A huge part of this series to me, as Gilgeous-Alexander will sit down. It'll be time for Victor to sit pretty soon, I would imagine. Big part of this series to me is how often does Victor get to the line? I think the Spurs half-court offense can get a little stagnant, and maybe not stagnant, but it can struggle to score. So I think that's something that is really important for them to be efficient in the half-court. Danny was right on Carter Bryant. Yeah, I thought he would be pretty good too. I just didn't do as deep of a dive on him as Danny did, but I certainly thought he should have gone higher, even based on what little I knew about him. Good denial by Harper. McCain got the ball anyway. He goes into the body of Wembanyama and scores on him. Wow. He's gone right at Carter Bryant and right at Wembanyama. Hartenstein is back in the game now to guard Wembanyama. Vassell has come back too. They could have gotten right back to the post of Vassell. Instead, they want to get Victor the ball against Chet off the switch, and he gets another foul on Chet Holmgren. So we'll take a break here with 6:49 remaining. This has really been a championship response by OKC. Yeah, and one thing that I didn't give enough consideration to for OKC acquiring Jared McCain was that he's a cheap rookie scale contract, and they're going to have to lose Isaiah Joe next year, and he could just replace him. Is OKC getting used to Wemby? They've made a ton of shots over him so far this game. I think there is something to the idea of getting used to him, because when you first play him, you just don't know what shots he can get to. And I think the Wolves, frankly, never figured that out. And they just shot so incredibly. It's bad enough if you can't get to the rim, but if he's also impacting your floaters, you think about guys like McDaniels, and McDaniels had that 2 of 14 from 2 game against Wembanyama, for example. And so now I think OKC has learned, I mean, they just have smarter players, if we're being honest, but they've learned that if you're going to go at him, you need to A, make him commit, and B, get into his body. And even if you don't get the shot when you get into his body, now you've forced him to guard you and something else can open up potentially. Yeah, so our luck adjusted score has it basically right where you would have expected at the moment. 42-41 Thunder, and the actual score is 43-42. OKC is 8 of 12 in the paint. Spurs are 7 of 10, but OKC has done equal damage from the upper paint. And then the other thing that's been crazy is the arc 3 shot making. 7 of 11 for OKC, 6 of 9 for the Spurs. Spurs have already taken 10 corner threes, but only made 2 of them. And OKC is 0 for 3 on corner threes. It's some kind of weird shot charts for both teams. See if anything else sticks out stat-wise here. Yeah, both teams have just been real good in the half court with 1 point per possession for Oklahoma City and 1.1 for the Spurs. OKC hasn't done much in transition. Spurs had 7 transition points in that initial jag and only 1 since then. And OKC has 10 points on 6 plays on second chances, which have helped make up the transition difference. Spurs haven't really figured too much on second chance. Why do you think the Spurs aren't attacking McCain on offense? Yeah, that's an interesting question. I think they want to involve Victor more. They want to move the ball more, as Victor is going to stay in here even. At some point, he's going to have to go out. But yeah, I think they should go after McCain with Castle, or I mean Harper to me would be the guy. There's that screen out of the corner for Wembanyama. Wow, what extension on the hook shot, but he missed it. Offensive rebound though, and now the Spurs are starting to pick up some of these cheapo fouls on OKC. Good job by Barnes. And with OKC not really running off misses in this series, I think San Antonio getting on the offensive glass is a great idea. This is a little zone here on I think it was a sideline out of bounds. Wembanyama pushed again. So that's now another off-ball foul. Hartenstein making the flop motion, but that's one he can't really afford to pick up because he's done his job. Once you push him out that far, he's done his job. Your arm is not as long as his. You're not going to, like Alex Caruso maybe could get that steal. Back to the 2-3 zone here. Caruso up out of the corner to contest Vassell, and it didn't matter. Vassell, that is now 7 of 10 on arc threes for the Spurs. Hartenstein up top looking to change sides of the floor. Caruso screen for McCain. They switch it well off ball, so they got to go Mitchell's side instead. Mitchell against Castle, not an advantage matchup. Joe is fresh into the game. Mitchell, Hartenstein not a threat from the outside, so Mitchell has to attack, and that advantage matchup against Castle does not exist. Now Wembanyama wants to screen for Vassell. Now Vassell is going to screen for Wembanyama on the ball. Victor couldn't get a handle on it quickly enough to find Vassell on the pick and pop, and this is Vassell going one-on-one against Joe. I don't think is a great shot, and good box out by Mitchell. Can they get some transition here? Not really. Victor is back. Now Mitchell working on Castle again. Stopped by Castle. No foul. Here comes Harper. Caruso sized him up. Knocked it away. Thunderball. Unbelievable defense by Alex Caruso. And that is the type of play that I think you see, as this is going to be a great block here by Castle first, where you might see a limitation from Harper tonight, where he's not really putting his foot in the ground to go around someone like Caruso, but Caruso obviously is a brilliant defender. So here we go. Wembanyama's sitting down. And they are going to Hartenstein. I would take Hartenstein out here. I don't, especially because you can't have giving up fouls. As now Vassell holds Isaiah Joe on that back door. With Cornette trying to give a little more pressure on Hartenstein, that back door was there. It's tough to topside when you don't have the big in position to take away the back door. That's why Vassell had to give up that foul. But he probably needed to be in a different position if Cornette is not under the basket. Same thing. They're going to screen for Joe. Hartenstein with 3 guys he can look for. Back to him again. Backdoor McCain. What a pass. And then Castle, yes, he committed an offensive foul in the backcourt for absolutely no reason. Caruso surely flopped down there, but why is Castle going to, I guess he's just trying to run down the floor, but Caruso is trying to actually play defense there. That is a foul. Champagny is going to come back in here, tied at 45. Bringing Mitchell off a couple of screens. The Spurs are doing a great job getting through these screens. Caruso tries to drive, and he's now going to pick up the foul on Johnson again. Shooting foul in favor of Caruso. Shouldn't they get back to that 5-out line with Cornette in? Yeah, that's what I was just trying to say, actually. Gabriel says his forecast is Knicks in 5, Spurs in 6, Knicks in 6. If you believe in that, you could probably make yourself some money off of that. They are getting Shai some pretty good rest here. Caruso, couple of free throws. Thunder back in front once more. I love the full court pressure here. Yeah, Keldon Johnson, you want to bring it up against pressure? Sure. Castle's looking to set a screen, and he barely got it across that time. If they're going to go one ball handler like this, no Fox, no Harper, absolutely make his life difficult. And now an off-arm foul on Johnson. That's all because of the pressure of Mitchell. Eventually, Johnson gets tired, and now Mitchell is going to try to milk this to get a review. Let's see. No, that is not a flagrant, but obviously a foul. And that foul happens because Keldon Johnson is not a good left-hand dribbler. He's had to deal with pressure. He's not used to bringing the ball up against this level of pressure. And eventually he gets frustrated and starts to use his off arm and commits the foul. So this is now 3 straight turnovers by San Antonio. Hartenstein up top. Joe coming off the screen between the legs. Joe on the move. Guns it and drains it. 5-point Thunder lead. Fox is back in the game to try to stabilize the Spurs offense here. He'll run pick and roll with Cornette. Wow, that's a nice pass to Vassell. Better closeout by Joe. Vassell gets past him. Hartenstein bothered him. Hartenstein looking for reinforcements. Thunder not doing a great job of running right now. Joe wants Hartenstein to run the offense. Tried the backdoor kickball by Cornette. And Shai, yeah, you can see he's going to sprint to the table. He wants to get back in the game. Yeah, beautiful between the legs pass by Hartenstein. This Thunder team has just so much talent. Hartenstein up top. Screen for Gilgeous-Alexander. Castle's behind the play. And on that zoom action, McCain committed the foul. They are calling a lot of fouls now, trying to clean this game up a little bit. Fox is picked up by Wallace. They do now want to go at McCain. Fox gets around it. They don't give up the switch. That was Wallace getting the steal on Fox. Still loose. I don't know that anyone actually had the ball in addition to Fox, but it will be a jump ball between Fox and one of the guards. But yeah, look at that. Wallace had to get all the way back in front of him after they hedged with McCain, and that was just Wallace. Really, he just always competes to get back into plays. It's really impressive. There have been a lot of calls here in the second quarter. Total of 9 fouls so far. Jump ball coming here with Wallace and Fox. Tipped, loose, went right back to Wallace. Dort did a good job to get the ball back. Shai going to get the screen here by Joe. Instead gets into the lane. What a finish. He went up through the arms trying to draw the foul. Didn't get the call. Adjusted into his left hand and banked it. Gilgeous-Alexander with 7 in the quarter. Good to know. Oh, is that? Wallace wants the challenge. I don't think I would use the challenge here on this, though, even if they are sure to get it. I think you want to save that last one because this isn't points. Victor is back in here. Let's see who this was in fact off. Yeah, clearly Fox. Pick and pop Wembanyama. Trying to get the 3 over Hartenstein. That's a shot I think the Thunder will live with. Back to Shai. Picked up by Johnson. This is a matchup he can go to. Victor is up in the pick and roll. Shai trying to get Johnson on his back. Hartenstein now trying to get in there. They triple team Shai. Got off the ball a little late, and they're going to get a 3-second call here on Hartenstein. That's a good call right there. He was just camped out there trying to set that Gortat screen forever, and they didn't really have good spacing. Nobody was in the right corner. I think that's Shai and Wallace talking about that right now. All right, let me see if I can give you guys a little look at the site that going to just share my screen here. Yeah, I wonder actually. All right, I got to take my camera off also. Nah, it's going to be too hard. Sorry. You guys will get it soon, though. We're putting the finishing touches on the live game portion. But I'll catch you guys up on a few things here. After that terrible Thunder start, it is actually the Spurs now who have turned it over more. 21% turnovers. Thunder also with 30% offensive rebounds. And they're shooting it pretty darn well, too. The Oklahoma City Thunder have a 121 offensive rating in this game. And even with Victor Wembanyama on the floor, it is even higher. It is excuse me. Oh, so it's really all when Victor's off. Because with Victor on the floor, Spurs have a 129 offensive rating and 87.5 defensive rating. And they also have controlled the possession game by 3. Victor off. These numbers are not too good for the Spurs. With Victor off, the Oklahoma City Thunder have a 218.2 offensive rating as it stands now with 2:49 remaining in the second quarter, and a 41 defensive rating. And yeah, the plus minus Cornette is negative 19. That's and Wembanyama is plus 12. That's pretty incredible. One of those points actually came when he was playing with Wembanyama. So Cornette on and Wembanyama off is, Luke Cornette is negative 19. Oof. That is tough. Yeah. But Cornette got to play 1 minute with Wembanyama, and that made up 1 point of his plus minus. So credit OKC. They've really found a formula to beat them up. Let me see if there's anything that sticks out as far as what's happening in those minutes. I mean, most of it is the Spurs offense is really struggling. I think a lot of that is turnovers. But yeah, OKC is 5 of 8 from 3 and 3 of 3 in the paint and gotten fouled twice for shooting fouls. And I think they probably got offensive rebounds on some of their misses too. Yeah, they also have two. Yes, the Spurs have only one defensive rebound compared to two offensive rebounds for for OKC. I mean, just the non-Wembanyama minutes have been an unbelievable disaster. Castle gonna try to go at Joe. Joe hedges and gets back. See, Champagny actually was open there. Instead, Castle wants to drive. Tough one off the glass. Dort got it taken away by Castle. What hands from the opposite number 5. Stephon Castle and Lou Dort going after a loose ball. That is mayhem. And he drew the foul on Dort. Yeah, I'll check this out. Actually, it's a good point from Samuel of how many of the Cornette Keldon minutes have two of the guards on the floor. Because if you're going one of the guards, and I think they feel like they have to do that just because of Fox and Harper being limited, then it's going to be tough. Couple of free throws by Castle gets San Antonio back within 5. Since that 15-0 start, OKC has controlled it. Shai going at Fox here. Fox switches onto him, but he switched aggressively. Oh, Shai with a nice move. Got past Victor. No foul. Fox, oh, he looked pretty gimpy trying to save that ball in the corner. He's not looking great right now. Wembanyama going to attack Hartenstein. He tried to draw the foul. Oh, man. See, that Hartenstein is pointing to the other end of the floor. That's pretty much the exact same play it looked like that Shai didn't get. Let's see it here. Does he foul him? Yeah, that's a foul. He is going through his body when Shai stopped there. And yeah, I mean, there's a little something on this one. But I would actually say the foul on the other end was worse. Oh, yeah, sorry. Forgot to throw the scoreboard up. Appreciate that reminder. I took it down to show you something else, and that didn't really work. Nope, that didn't. There we go. Am I crazy? Am I crazy because that take on the last two fouls? Is that what you're talking about? I mean, I thought he ran. Shai stopped, and he moved his body through his body. Mitchell is back in the game now. Shai going to work off the ball, screened for by Dort. They want to get Champagny on him. Champagny's on his back. Shai, as soon as he tries to get around him, pulls the jumper. It has been a nice second quarter by Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Chet is back in the game as well now to guard Wembanyama with Hartenstein having picked up that last foul. Wembanyama tells Champagny, get out of the way. Castle, that's just not a good shot right there. OKC will take that all day. Shai on the attack. Victor trying to run him down. Corner. Good closeout by Champagny. Now Mitchell's turn. He gets stopped. Dort will take a terrible 3. Just not a good shot. And that is a really bad foul in the backcourt by Wallace. That's going to be free throws for San Antonio over the backbreaker. And did Champagny hurt his ankle there as Shai was using the off arm? Victor just leaning on him to get a break? Free throws coming here for Vassell in that rebounding action. Foul trouble. Make sure we're caught up here. I think Hartenstein has 3. No, only 2 on Isaiah Hartenstein so far. And Vassell makes the second free throw with 1:20 remaining in the first half. Mitchell guarded by Fox. Shai going to set the screen for. Oh, Shai was open. He got it to him just a beat too late for him to attack. But Shai wants this Fox matchup. Vassell is way up the floor here. Shai trying to force Vassell to commit. Goes the other direction. In the corner, Caruso gets Wembanyama in the air. Great job by Alex Caruso with 3.7 on the shot clock. And that, because he's been making that shot in the series, they want to have Wembanyama hanging out when they zone up, especially when Shai's not in a great matchup. This will be only 2 free throws, however, as Caruso did step in. Not quite enough, though, of a step in to where that would be deemed a non-basketball move. But Alex Caruso does make the first. Mark Daigneault, really, he has just been running guys in and out of the lineup, not letting San Antonio get comfortable against any particular look. Should the Spurs try more guard screens for Victor? Don't see that much of the series. Yeah, those guards are sharks, though. And they also don't have great pick and pop threats out of that. Maybe that should be, yeah, Fox. I mean, he's really just struggling to get up and down the floor. Like, I don't think he's going to be, he's going to be kind of like a body in this series, I think. Castle looking to get it to Wembanyama. Jay Will is in the game now. Wembanyama spin move. Fade away. Well short. Jort came in for the rebound with authority that time. He wasn't going to let Castle take it away from him again. Shai, double team. Caruso, beautiful cut. Williams, quick release in the corner. Man, he has really sped that up over the course of his career. And the Oklahoma City Thunder, this is really just a championship level of first half response after going down 15-0. And they're continuing to do it now with Victor on the floor. Fox, they go under on him. 5 on the clock. Fox trying to get his shot off. Missed it. Champagny coming in for the rebound. Can't get it. Is there time here for Shai? He does get it off from about 70 feet. No. But the Thunder, man, really, really good response there by OKC. And the Spurs have a lot of work to do. And Fox and Harper not looking too good. That's going to be tough. All right, be back for the second half. All right, then, second half, and this is going to be a pretty interesting first few minutes to see whether San Antonio is going to be able to really punch back or whether what took place the last 21 minutes of the first half is our new normal here. And OKC going back to their starting group that did so poorly, which I can't really countenance, to be honest. We're going to get Shai the ball against Hartenstein. He goes into the body of Wembanyama, finds Hartenstein on the roll. Yes! That's the first time they've ever actually really gotten the ball to the center on the pick and roll. And that's Shai again. Just make contact with Wembanyama. Make him guard you, and good things happen. Fox, he has been bothered near half court a number of times. Hartenstein went down. Chet contesting Champagnie in the corner. Missed it. Wembanyama couldn't get the rebound. It went to the other side. He was setting up for the tick dunk. Hartenstein went down. He's a little bothered. He tried to roll out of there quickly. Now looking to set up on Wembanyama. Shai, tough step back. Not a good possession there. They never really did anything to puncture. Good defense by Vassell. Now Fox on the drive. Tried to draw the foul. Couldn't do it. He didn't try to finish the shot. He went for the foul. That's another thing you'll see guys who are injured do. Now Shai on Vassell. Gets to his spot. Victor bothered him that time. And he also ran down the rebound, at least enough to make it Spurs ball out of bounds. Yeah, I think Hartenstein, he just got run into by Dort. See how he's feeling. They go to a double high pick and roll. Fox weak side. Castle in a spot up 3-point position. Not really where he's at his best. And here's Mitchell. Just got stripped by Vassell. He's going to work it down floor and went into two guys. Picked up the foul. I didn't see a ton there. Maybe we will on the replay. Sorry, I'm going to be silent on occasion during free throws here as I just save my voice. I've not looked at anything on Twitter at all so far. As Vassell gets that free throw, it's back to 7. And Shai setting the screen. They want to get Shai guarded by Fox. Shai going at him. Fox got a hand on it. Shai recovers. They want to try to go at Victor in the corner. Again, they just don't have enough shooting with this group at all. But Caruso is fresh into the game. Excuse me. I misspoke. They took Hartenstein out. Hopefully he's okay there. Now Caruso is wrapped up by Castle. Caruso kind of tried to draw a foul there. And Wembanyama a little more conservative on that closeout as Caruso got him on that pump fake last time. Caruso now will pick up Castle again. Chet is on Wembanyama. They're going to switch this? No. Castle rejects, gets into the lane. Good pick and roll defense. Fox working on Dort. Fell down. Loose. Picked up by Caruso. Man, he just, anytime there's a loose ball, he gets it immediately. Shai has the matchup against Champagnie. Likes that. Nice pass there. Again, engaging Victor, making him actually guard you. That's where it's all at. Now Castle kicks out Champagnie. That's a three they desperately needed. Didn't have a ton of arc on it, but knocked it down off the back rim. Now Shai got they could have. I would have double teamed him there. Now they do double team. It's deflected and it's loose. Castle's going to get an easy dunk here. Caruso, no, he ran him down for a foul. And Castle with words for Caruso, but that is not a flagrant foul. Now he's pretty out of control there. That's not a play that I love when he's going up for a dunk, and you know you have no chance at it. But as the rules are right now, that is not a flagrant foul. But Castle, most likely outcome here is 1 out of 2. Yeah, he's actually pretty close to the ball there, honestly, seeing it on that replay. And he missed the first. Caruso saved him at least a point with that hustle. I mean, it is a very rare player when the offense is that far ahead who's really going to run it down. And Castle likes to jump off at 2 feet. He's slowed down for the big finish. If he just goes for a layup, he doesn't get caught from behind there. And he does rim in that free throw to cut it to 8. Shai, that was a good double team up top on Shai to force that turnover. Now he's going to try to get past Castle again. Victor comes over. Shai stepping back. Missed it, but Holmgren again. Second time he's taken advantage of Victor leaving the basket exposed to go on Shai. Now Victor in the post. Check trying to come over. Victor tried to draw the foul. Can't do it. Dort has flown in for some nice defensive rebounds. OKC looking very good here right now. Shai picked up by Champagny. Holmgren going to look to get it back to Shai. Holmgren just gets out of there. Cut by Caruso. Vassell's all over it. Throw it ahead. Castle trying to be run down by Mitchell, and Mitchell fouls him that time. And now Castle has something to say for Mitchell. That's going to be a technical surely. Or sorry, that's Vassell has something to say for Mitchell. That's going to be a technical surely on Vassell. These are two teams that largely don't engage in those sorts of things. We saw it some in the last series between Castle and I think it was Jaden McDaniels. And I think this is going to be reviewed interminably. Let's see what happens here. So Mitchell, yeah, I mean that's seems like a hard playoff foul. Let's see if there's anything really untoward here. I mean, he extends that right arm pretty far, clearly trying to give a foul again. And the big thing right now for OKC is Shai's got to quit turning the ball over. Yeah, the other thing is for San Antonio is Victor just has not gotten going offensively. OKC has caused him problems now in this series. He's only 2 of 6 from the field. Oh, that is hilarious. Man, NBC does a good job with their cameras. I got to say, that was great. Isaiah Joe pretending like he's going to run and freaking out the coach whose job it is to hold it back. That is really funny. So what do y'all think of that adjudication? It's flagrant foul on Mitchell, technical on Vassell, technical on Mitchell. Yeah, I mean, I think there's a certain amount of trying to control the game here, which I don't necessarily disagree with. And especially after you just committed a flagrant foul, to then, someone's going to walk up on you because you committed a flagrant, and to just be like, oh yeah, now you're going to not, any response there is also a technical. I think that's probably fair, honestly, because you initiated the situation and someone's going to come to the defense of the player. But after the second of these questionable fouls on the same guy, it's kind of necessary to just calm things down by calling the flagrant. Or because I was critical of the referees for not doing a good enough job of controlling the game when Wembanyama got ejected. And so if you don't send the message that there are appropriate penalties, then guys continue to escalate throughout the game. So even if that's not technically in and of itself a flagrant, I'm okay with it. Now Castle just got swallowed up by Caruso, but another foul. I thought Caruso was in perfect position there. Maybe he had the right hand on the back. But the Spurs are now in the bonus, and that could be a way for them to get back into this one. Also gives Wembanyama a lot of rest. Yeah, what do y'all think on that one? Is that a foul on Caruso? That time Castle missed the free throw. Unfortunately, this is going to take forever. That's the one downside of all these fouls. So back to a 7-point game as it stood at halftime. Are they going to go back to some double teaming on Shai at this point? McCain and Fox are involved underneath. Shai on the drive. Victor comes over. What a finish by Gilgeous-Alexander. He was floating, had to get it over Victor Wembanyama. That's just incredible touch. Now Castle trying Shai. Another foul. Castle very motivated to attack hard here. And with Shai and McCain in the game, either of those guys are potential marks for that. Let's see the Shai floater again. This is ridiculous. He's got Champagnie there. He's got to pick up his dribble off the wrong foot over Victor. It's just a ridiculous shot. Castle is spending much time at the line now. Already going to be his 7th and 8th free throw attempts of this quarter. It's always so interesting that OKC puts their biggest guy a lot of times in as the top free throw rebounder, not bottom. I wonder if teams will start doing more of that. Shai, again, kind of bottled up. They move it. Good closeout by Fox. McCain going to the step back. Castle bothered that from behind. Again, the physicality, the contests, it's just off the charts. Vassell going at Shai. Oh, what a block by Holmgren, but they're going to get a goaltend on it. I wonder if a challenge is loading here, or is this yet another foul instead? I can't tell because I have to have the sound off. $69-64, and then, yeah, that's the right move there with the referees amping up the calls. Castle, who's been involved in all this, just flop down a little bit. Third quarters are often like this. Teams come out, we got to set the tone physically in the second half, and the referee's like, we got to set the tone physically in the second half. Carter Bryant will come in third on Castle. Wonder how much Dylan Harper we're going to see in the second half. So Bryant is in, and this will actually push Castle onto McCain, especially with Castle still having to do the bulk of the ball handling. And Carter Bryant is no easy mark for Shai either. Shai's just going to try him when he's fresh into the game. Good gap by Vassell. And great defense again by the Spurs. They've started both halves really well defensively. That's two guys were in position to deflect that pass to the corner. Caruso throws it in weak side to Chet, and is this going to be away from the play foul? I'm sure we're going to get an internal review to find out that it's not. Seems Harper is done. Did somebody report that? I guess I should get Twitter open here, considering we're just going to be sitting here forever anyway. See if there's any good news to report. Yeah, so the note that Shai has taken 0 free throws. Now, yeah, I mean, I don't know that Carter Bryant really makes contact with his chest. Are they? Let's see what they say here. All right, so it isn't away from the play foul. Wow. All right. It's the one every season where it actually isn't away from the play foul. So Shai's going to get it. One free throw here. That is his first of the game. So now they will inbound in the corner. And I'm interested to see what the injury status is for Hartenstein. Shai, pick and pop, McCain. He's open, drains it. Excellent work there. And with the way that they are gapping on Shai, that was the play that was going to be open. Now Victor going right at Chet. Blocking foul on Chet Holmgren. Challenge here? He looks like he's there pretty darn good, I would say. Takes a contact in the chest. I think that's I think that might be an offensive foul. It doesn't appear like it's going to get challenged. That's going to be free throws already, but Holmgren, that's as of right now his third personal. This is a pretty interesting number. Spurs are 8 of 20 from 2 and 10 of 25 from 3. And again, our luck-adjusted score has it pretty much about the same here, 73-64 in reality, and in our luck-adjusted paradise, 70-63. Both teams' offensive rebounds are coming down. Spurs turnovers have come down here as well. They're over 20%. Now they're down to 17. And OKC's offensive rebound rate has also come down. It was in the 30s. Now it's down to 28%. But OKC 62.5% field goal, 51% for San Antonio. And the Spurs are only 8 of 20 from 2. Fox is 4 of 5 from 2. Rest of the team is 4 of 15. And Castle, as good as he's been getting to the foul line, only has 1 field goal. He's 1 of 7. He has quelled the turnovers, though. He only has 1 turnover. Fox has 3. I can't believe how incredibly slow-paced this third quarter has been. We're 5 minutes into the quarter. This has been like 30 minutes. What goes on in the luck-adjusted score? So it's play-by-play based. We look at the history of players from a certain zone and adjust for when the shot is taken in the shot clock, which affects the efficiency. And we don't adjust for what happens in the paint because those are contested enough. It doesn't really make sense to adjust for that. You can't, if you don't have the tracking data, it's really hard to do that. So it's basically trying to figure out what the shooting luck is on jump shots throughout the game based on the player's history and of course, offensive rebounds, number of chances, all that stuff as well. But it's basically my attempt to be like, who's playing better really here so far? At halftime, if one team has just gotten really hot, to say like, all right, if the teams keep playing like this, what do we think is going to happen? All right, I would just like to see some basketball here. It's a lot harder to do these when I'm just sitting here in front of the screen having to talk instead of actually having action to react to. So no challenge there by Mark Daignault. Was successful earlier in the game on a Jalen Williams out of bounds call that then turned into a foul. And I'm very interested to see how much Dylan Harper is going to play in this. He's in right now. And injured as he is, he's still going to pressure up full court. Williams now guarded by Castle. Shai getting the ball against Harper. Rips through. Goes nail help. Shai in the corner. That's incredible help there by Vassell. He's standing at the free throw line, and he's there in the corner on Chet. Here's McCain. What a finish by McCain. He flashes to the bench with the muscles. That was sick. Harper going at Wallace. Works inside. Blocked, but another foul on Oklahoma City. They are fouling and fouling and fouling in this third quarter. In the quarter, San Antonio has already drawn 8 fouls. And I was looking that stat up. Let's see if he fouls Victor there. Yeah, I mean, that's one of those. You're not going to get an off-arm foul if you're 7'6" against a 6'1" guy. Sorry. But I do think OKC, and this is some of the intellectual interest in what's going to happen with Victor. The first 2 teams had no idea how to deal with him. And Oklahoma City, I mean, honestly, I think it's just that they're good players, but they're just smarter to get into his body and really make him work. Good pressure again by Bryant on Shai. Chet sets the screen. That was probably an illegal screen. Bryant with still a pretty good peel switch out of the corner to contest. San Antonio's defense has been really good in this quarter. Harper, again, just doesn't have the same level of explosion, I would say. Victor moving without the ball. Cut off nicely by Williams. Now Bryant going to try Chet. Not an advantage matchup at all. And they finally force a miss at the rim without fouling. McCain, three-pointer. Rebounded by Vassell. Kick it ahead. Bryant picked up by Shai. Now Harper has it against Chet. Wants to interact with Victor. Gets it to him in the post. Wembanyama against Jay Will. And that's a totally fine shot for OKC. That's not even a three. I think you can outscore that shot, even with Victor on the floor. And the dreaded non-Victor minutes are coming soon. Shai just going to put Bryant in the mix. Knocks him off. Gets him in the air. Tried to draw the foul. Oh, that's a weak-ass call right there. Really don't care for that one. He's very much, I would say, not doing a normal shooting motion. And that's, again, it's after he's going to shove him, full arm extension. That's the one I hate the most. And then he jumps into him sideways as well. Bryant is trying to jump to the side of him, turn his body away. Yeah, that's miserable. So Shai will get another free throw momentarily. So as good as OKC was from mid-range in the last game, they are 1 of 10 from mid-range in this game. But they've been good in the upper paint. Shai got the steal, knocked it away. It'll remain Thunder ball. Ten-point game. Fox back in. Joe is in too. Good pass fake by Vassell to get himself open, but that's off the heel. Shai can't get the rebound. Fox has it. Hartenstein back in the game, looking none the worse for wear. Here's Vassell on the drive. Twisting finish. Oh, that is ridiculous. And one. That was a Dr. J-esque scoop right there by Vassell. Yeah, I think Dort even got him in the face there. That's one where if you've made him jump that far sideways, you've done your job. Yeah, why is he putting his hand way out to the side? That's an impossible shot. He made it, but there's just no reason to commit that foul. And again, we're getting Dort and Hartenstein in. I got to question this here, too, because you got Cornette in and your two worst shooters are in. Shai finding Hartenstein on the roll, and he has to get wrapped up by Fox. Cornette had to be up in pick-and-roll defense. They've tried to keep him out of the action. That hasn't really worked. And Shai has made himself into an excellent pick-and-roll operator. Fox in the back. He's in difficulty because he's got to take Hartenstein, and he's also got the shooter Joe in the strong side corner. Hartenstein has had a little bit of trouble at the line in this series. He doesn't spend that much time there because he's usually taken that floater. Harper, they set that tight 45 type screen in the corner. Bryant back to Harper, fires the three. Wow. That's a heck of a shot there by Dylan Harper. Finally gets one to go. Very aggressive, but with Castle and Victor on the bench, he has to be. Shai getting past Bryant again. Kicks into the corner. Wallace, quick release by Wallace. Left it short. Dort on the glass. Shai is open from the top on a spot up, and he hits it. Lou Dort with a huge offensive rebound as the Spurs had closed within 5. Now Harper working on Joe, has the confidence, doesn't take the three, wants to wave everyone away. Good pressure, forces them to attack. Bryant's wide open in the corner. This is a big shot, just in and out. Now Wallace on the attack, getting right past Vassell. They will wave it off, however. Foul on the floor. Yeah, here's that tight screen that was popularized by the Clippers against the Spurs, ironically, in the 2015 playoffs. Defended pretty darn well, but Harper hits the shot. Yeah, both Harper and Castle seem to be dealing with thumb injuries right now, too. And very quick break for Wembanyama. Pretty amazing that this is only game 3 of this series. It's been an absolute marathon already, especially this third quarter. Caruso is going to return as well. Shai getting a rest. Interesting that they're taking him out just as Victor comes back in. Yeah, if you look at the game flow, it's really Mark Daigneault has just been what's a good Jackson Pollock painting? Would that be a good way to describe it? In the corner here, it's Johnson, who really struggled in the first half. Dort picking him up. Johnson going to his right side, and Dort again commits a terrible foul. Arguing about Jordan Poole's role in the 2022 playoff run is exactly what the comments of this show are for. Please continue by all means. Dort, he's been active on the boards, but hasn't done much offensively and has committed a couple of bad fouls. Catch up on some of these third quarter stats. I mean, it's really pretty amazing. San Antonio has 16 points in the quarter. They have 2 field goals and 11 made free throws. And OKC has taken 2 free throws in the quarter. But they've also outscored them 18-16. 2 of 8 from the field for the San Antonio Spurs. And I apologize. I missed some action because the screen just stopped. What did I miss? I was stuck on the Keldon Johnson because my computer does this weird thing where I don't know if it's NBA.com or what, where if you don't have that window in focus, it just pauses it. So now, finally, the Thunder in the bonus, and Caruso puts them back up 9. Fox has returned. He's picked up by Kaysen Wallace, and Hartenstein is the matchup on Wembanyama. Fox on the drive. Goes beyond the back. Now he rope-a-dopes him. That's the De'Aaron Fox that we expect to see. But he looks like even that was kind of difficult for him. He's limping more after that play. What ankle? It's his right ankle, isn't it? Yeah, yep, you can see it there. I mean, NBC, their camera work is pretty good. He definitely came to, and that, if you have a high ankle sprain, that's exactly the sort of thing. Like that pain. I've had a high ankle sprain before. I know that'll shock you guys to know that I've had an injury before, but it's really, you feel this, it's so weird because you feel this instability basically in the middle of your shin, in between those two bones, and landing harder on it than you wanted to would be the exact sort of thing that would really stress it out. Vassell risen in the shooting guard rankings. I'm sure he would have, yeah. I'd have to go back and look at it. I've had literally every lower body injury known to mankind. Let's see. Forgive me. You guys want me to list everyone that I could think of? If that's too self-indulging, please you can let me know. Here, this will be better self-indulging. I'll tell you the names of the cats. That was an actual question. The current cats, the black cat is Bull. He's named after Bull Meacham, who is one of my favorite literary characters in a Pat Conroy book called The Great Santini, which was a good book I read growing up. And then the other one is Naomi, named after Naomi Nagata from The Expanse TV show and book series. All right, let's see here. So we'll start at the bottom. Obviously, plenty of right and left ankle sprains. I had a sprained foot that was pretty bad, so now I have bone spurs in my left ankle. I've had a million calf strains of both calves. Never had an Achilles, though. I've had Achilles tendonitis before, though. Left knee, I had really bad tendonitis in that took me like years and years to get rid of. Right knee, I tore my ACL, patellar tendon, and meniscus all at once. I've never really had too bad of a hamstring injury, just maybe like a little tweak. And certainly, and I've never had like a really bad quad or groin. Definitely had a hip flexor before. So that's probably, and the high ankle sprain. I forgot about that too. So that's probably the gamut, I would say, in the lower body. Yeah, so let's see. Here's Fox. He's going to land. Oh, yeah, on the right foot. And then even, and you know what? Honestly, it could have even been more than landing on the right foot. It could have even been the way that he kind of tweaked it, hitting the inside of it after the landing. Because even that, just that like twisting sideways like a clock, even that can mess it up. They try to get a little blind pig action for Shai, doesn't work. Castle is back in the game to guard him. Shai with a lot of nail help. Caruso moving without the ball. That's a movement three, though, and it doesn't matter. He knocks that down. That's a huge shot. Again, they are really gapping a ton and trying to close out these shooters. Now Fox will just pull it. Rebounded by Hartenstein. Maybe he was fouled by Johnson. They don't call it, amazingly. Shai double teamed. Gets off the ball. Dort not going to do anything. McCain is. He'll drive. Good stop by Fox. Shai wants to go at Fox or Johnson with Johnson on him. Gets past him. Step back. Victor came over. And what is this? Just a foul on Johnson for a little chuck, I guess. Yeah, grabbing the jersey. All right, that's a pretty obvious call in the end. So OKC, despite the disjointed nature of the quarter, which I think has favored the Spurs to some degree just because they are the thinner team, they are up in the quarter. Now, Shai has gone, well, I guess he sat for a little bit, didn't he? Here, let me double check that. It's been, I don't know if he was, let's see. So Shai, yeah, he sat for like a minute in this quarter. Shai gets the free throw, up to 12 now. Wembanyama is not that much in this quarter either. Chet's back in the game now. They're going double big. Wembanyama into Holmgren, and he's going to get the and one again. Man, the Spurs really have gotten every call in this quarter, I got to say. Maybe not every call. There have been a couple that OKC has gotten too, but yeah, this is. I think they really need to go back to Wembanyama rolling hard to the basket and pick and roll. But I mean, that's just a no call to me. He's just standing there. Like maybe he's moving slightly, but like he doesn't put the arm on him, taking the contact in the chest. That's just a no call. I think, and I thought the other one at minimum could have been a no call, and probably was a charge. Yeah, Fox still, even on the bad ankle, going to apply full court pressure. McCain backs in. Fox almost got the steal. McCain turns the corner. Good peel switch by Johnson. McCain with the extension. This guy's finishing has been ridiculous. Now Castle in the corner, cut off by Jay Will. Champagny moving without the ball. And no, box out by Gilgeous-Alexander. Shai's not moving incredibly well. Gets past Castle. Victor is there. Kicks out. Williams, no, gets off the ball. McCain will fire. Well short. Great closeout by Champagny. Dort on the floor, but it's picked up by Johnson. Oh, no, Fox is down there. Did Dort dive into his leg? Yeah, he's not even in the front court yet. This is troublesome. And now he can't even move right now. He's done for the series, I fear. Let's see what happened to him. I think this is it. They got to get rid of this diving on the floor stuff, honestly. Like if you want to see fewer injuries, credit to De'Aaron Fox. He really gave it a go here. A high ankle sprain is no joke. He did help the team. You can see Harper, his face too. He's not doing much better. Let's see what happens to him here. Oh, that's awful. That's the exact mechanism of a high ankle sprain. Getting the toe caught in the ground and then just that turning. And if he didn't have the high ankle sprain, it's probably fine, as Shai's going to draw a foul here. If he didn't have the high ankle sprain, that's probably fine. But just that clock turning mechanism of the foot under the shin is just the exact thing. Yeah, this is the second time now. Shai shoves off with the off arm. Now you have to jump forward into him. Really hate that call. If you're going to call the jump forward into him, you got to call the push off, because that's what's creating the situation where the defender has to make up the ground. Yeah, he's done for the series now after that, I fear. Maybe they can find a way to get it to where he can limp out there again, but it's just like he's tweaked it 4 or 5 times. Now it's an incredible alley-oop. They got to get back to these pick and rolls. They did a little Spain action that time too. Get Victor around the basket. They just haven't done that enough. Now they trap Shai in the backcourt. Victor ran Williams off the line. Shai indefatigable here. He's not going to try to get the 2-for-1. No, maybe he will through McCain off the gap, but McCain can't get it. Loose? No. What is this? Loose ball foul. Holmgren with the little shoulder shake. He finally gets a call. Yeah, if you run that Spain pick and roll, the big has to step up. No help on the weak side. I'm not sure where Holmgren is there. But Johnson, is that going to be his fifth foul? Yes, it is. Holmgren first free throw. And this has been a deranged number of foul calls in this. There have been a lot of fouls, too. 17 fouls in the quarter. I would say I can't say that I saw much on that Dort dive to say that that was a dirty play. I mean, maybe I need to just approve it more, but it's more just that I think diving on the floor in general should be disincentivized. Victor working on Hartenstein. Goes to the tough fadeaway and hits. He's starting to feel it a little bit. Shai getting off the ball. They double team him in the backcourt. Hartenstein will take a three. He used to do that. I went back when I saw him as a prospect. I first saw him actually younger than I think maybe any prospect that I've ever evaluated continuously. I think I saw him. I don't remember it was the 2013 or 2014 Eurocamp when he was a 14-year-old. And back then he was doing all this ball handling, point forward type of stuff. There was a thought he could become an outside shooter, which even early in his NBA career, there was a thought behind that. But the fact that he's abandoned that and become just this very traditional big man, but he's still got this little cheeky floater. Yeah, on the Rockets, he was actually decent shooting threes. I mean, if you see him shoot it in person, I don't know if it's gotten better, but every time I've ever seen him shoot a three in person, he's one of these guys that just the right arm, his right hand is really involved. It doesn't really spin on it. It isn't a dirty play. Jordan always happens to be the guy involved in these kind of plays. Well, he has done plenty of dirty plays. I'm just not sure that that one was. Over under 1.5 defensive player of the year the next 8 years when he's over it, but doesn't win. That's an interesting question. Probably under if he's eligible. And the only way, 8 years is a long time though, so you could see him possibly, maybe he suffers a career-altering injury, comes back and plays, but just isn't the same. Voter fatigue is real though. Yeah, I honestly think defensive player of the year at this point is. I mean, part of it too is that OKC is kind of this ensemble cast. So there isn't the one guy on OKC. Oh, is the Lakers losing Caruso just a tax cheap issue? Yeah, mostly. And then they also, in concert with that, they prioritize bringing back Talen Horton-Tucker over him. And also that, yeah, they could have paid him. They had full board rights, so they made him an offer that wasn't competitive with the Bulls. He had to take it because he hadn't made any money in his career. And but the Westbrook trade also made them way more expensive. So now can Harper give them something? He's back in the game. Good denial by Caruso on Castle. Harper will have to bring it up his head. He's going to go right to the basket. And no, he walked. He did not let. And that was actually, he had a move like that in game 2 that I also thought was a travel that they didn't call. Double big look for the Thunder. Shai is out. They double team McCain. Hartenstein. Kick out Chet. Comes downhill. Goes to the fadeaway jumper. Man, Wembanyama was there, and Chet backed up to the elbow J. That was an intriguing flash there. Chet has been on Champagny a lot of this series. Here's Castle. They pick up Hartenstein on the switch. Kick out. Hartenstein got back in for the board, too. They are switching that pick and roll now. Even with Hartenstein, they feel like Hartenstein can guard Castle. McCain off the foot of Wembanyama, no kick ball. Here comes Vassell. Tried to go behind his back. It's loose. Vassell, and then, that's Castle. Man, I always mix those two guys up. The L at the end. But Hartenstein says that he didn't commit the foul, but he's really swiped down with the arms to make himself vulnerable to that call. Oh, that's a kick ball. Oh, how does that not get called? They're always very aggressive about calling those. I was like, no, clearly he must have just had his foot. Anytime your foot's moving, basically, as Castle misses the free throw. That Lakers offseason was surely one of the worst ever. That would be a great pod. The worst off seasons in NBA history. You'd have to do it based on the decisions, though, not necessarily, LeBron left in free agency. Yeah, if the Thunder could win these minutes with Victor on, Shai off, as McCain gets the screen from Hartenstein and misses it, the Thunder could win these minutes. It's going to be real trouble for San Antonio. Harper going into Chet. Knocked backwards, but Chet stood tall without fouling. Got the body out to him. That's when maybe Harper finishes if he's healthy. McCain moving off the ball. Now it'll be Wallace's turn. Gets into the lane. McCain with Castle helping off of him and over-helping off of him. That's a huge shot by McCain. Mitch Johnson is going to take a timeout here. I probably would have just let it roll, honestly. I know things are going bad, but Shai's off the floor. You actually have the superior lineup. I don't think they would come back with Shai yet. But, yeah, I don't know what Castle is doing there. Wallace was pretty well contained. And, I think I'm probably ready to declare that the Jared McCain trade was a good one for OKC. Yeah, I'm actually, if y'all will excuse me, I'm going to actually write that pod idea down right now of the worst off seasons in NBA history. Yeah, you know what? I realized we never did best young cores this year. That was an oversight. I wonder if these worst off seasons in NBA history will all just be things like taking Bagley over Luka Doncic. Yeah, this has been a lot of free throws in this game. And Shai hadn't taken a free throw up until the midpoint of the third quarter, and he took 7. Shai also with 10 assists. Again, 21 points, plus 10. Let me ask you guys this. This is be an interesting question. Let's say the series ended after this game, who is your best player in the world? Is it still Wembanyama? Everyone was saying he had clearly stolen the crown in game one. Shai was terrible. I would say Shai has probably outplayed him the last two games. And today, Shai is 21 and 10. He's plus 10. Victor is 19 points. He's plus 4. Yeah, I totally disagree. I actually think Shai has been really good tonight. He has 10 assists. Much of the stuff that's happening is because they're gapping onto him like crazy and giving up open threes, which he is finding. He's had a couple of stretches with not great turnovers. Thunder have a 127.9 offensive rating when he's on the floor. Wow, so Fox is back in. Holy shit. And he's played 25. This is pretty incredible. I mean, you know, that's the high ankle sprain. It's like, I guess it's not going to get any worse. Fox gets his pass deflected. Great play again by Caruso, who's aghast at himself for not actually catching that. Hey, put the t-shirt on, buddy. Deep in corner inbound to Cornet. They're going French vanilla again here with the two bigs by the Thunder. Fox gets to the elbow and scores over Caruso. He's under control, but he still is able to make some of these pick and roll reads, and they just need that. Chet got a nice little chuck from Cornet for his trouble coming across the lane. He'll work with McCain. Shai remains on the bench. McCain down the lane, goes at Cornet and scores. Wow. McCain getting the minutes over A.J. Mitchell, who has not been seen. He really is probably a better fit, certainly offensively. But to me, they just haven't done a good enough job of attacking him on the other end. Wembanyama pick and pop, not there. Starting to get late here for the Spurs. They need this three from Champagnie off the offensive rebound. But yeah, if they're going to put McCain on the floor for big minutes like this, San Antonio really needs to attack him. Iverson cut by Chet. Shai is headed to the table. Chet going to just work on Champagnie. Drives it. Caruso guarded by Wembanyama. They involve him in the pick and roll. McCain gets through. Wembanyama not really looking to help because he's playing the 4 now. Caruso went for the steal, and that is off Fox. Caruso again. Man. 2 deflections already since he's come in the game. Yeah, part of why I don't really care for the French vanilla is it leaves Wembanyama out on the perimeter more. But they also, like Keldon Johnson has 5 fouls. He's been so ineffective, maybe you just got to try something else. Shai with Cornet up in pick and roll defense. Works on Vassell. There's that gap. See, like that's the sort of play right there. I mean, that should have been a made 3 as we're going to get a loose ball foul at Hartenstein. But I think to say that Shai hasn't played that well in this game, I think like that's the sort of play that you need to give him credit for. Because he just got him a wide open 3 just by existing. And all right, he makes the pass. It's a good pass, but it's like look at where McCain, who's a great shooter, look where his defender is. And that's with Wembanyama on the floor. They still feel like they got to do that. I don't know if I agree with them, honestly, but they are. Fox into Jalen Williams. Oh, he got it taken away by Wallace. He had Cornet open, just couldn't make the pass. Wallace getting past Champagnie. McCain, this time he loads up. He's been short on a number of these. He could have ended the game with a couple of these shots. When he misses, it seems like it's usually short. Chet trying to make the catch difficult for Wembanyama. Good help by Jalen Williams. Wembanyama has to pull up, and he drains it. Down to 10. The Spurs making one last push, perhaps. Shai Working on Vassell. Good gap by Champagny. The Thunder didn't have the spacing on the strong side that time. Shai going to just try again. He's been all over the ball. Vassell got a strip and then a foul on Vassell eventually with 4.4 on the shot clock. Vassell says, it was so close. But that won't be free throws. No reason to challenge it. And this is both guys being pretty physical there. I can't say I saw a foul from that angle. Yeah, I think and is Caruso back in here already? I wonder if he's just going to close it. McCain out. Do they have enough shooting on the floor now? I think they should try, as Cornette is still in, kick it out. Chet. He had Wallace in the corner, and instead he got his three-pointer blocked. That's not good enough. He had a wide-open corner three there. He takes forever to get it off, and he got his three-pointer blocked. And now this is a good closeout by Champagny to do it to the side where he might be throwing the pass. Castle's back in two. Shai backs him off. 3, and that's going to be 3 free throws for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Again, a late clock foul by the Spurs. That is absolute killer with them having gotten within 10. And that time, yeah, he definitely hits he didn't flop there. He definitely hit his foot. And there was no push off on that play either. That was just a foot in the ground, step back. And that's 5 on Castle. Where was this call in 2018 or 19 for the Houston Rockets? James Harden basically built a big part of his efficiency on getting that call all the time. It's just you can't get that call every single time. And I also don't think he also steps really far forward too. Here's the drive by Champagny. No foul call in favor of Williams, and they drop it off to Cornette. Nice take there by Julian Champagny, who's had a nice little run here. They double-team Shai. Williams can make the play here to Wallace. Three-pointer. Again, like they are double-teaming Shai in the backcourt, and they're getting a wide-open 3 every time. Now Victor going to try to put Chet in the mix. Goes to the step back. Not there. Caruso flies in, but instead Vassell able to clean up. Timeout, Mark Daignault, as it's down to 9, and the Spurs make one last push. Interested to see what they're going to do in terms of a closing lineup here now. San Antonio, they go back to Fox. Yep, I think that's a no call is a good one, a kind of a glancing blow. Caruso did well to tip it away, but then nobody boxed out Vassell. Keep in mind they also double team Edwards. It's not just Shai that they do this to. I'm aware of that, but also they have done it to Shai, and he's beaten up that strategy pretty badly. Edwards wasn't necessarily able to do it. Now, part of that was his team wasn't as good. Spurs chucking threes, not giving Wembanyama the ball is killing me. So I just like, so you're giving Wembanyama the ball to create? Because I don't think that's great offense. Now, and part of it too is Wembanyama needs to roll to the basket more. He's not, and they need to call plays that have him rolling to the basket. Who's a better long-term outlook, Şengün or Duren? Oof. Is Harper so limited this game? Yeah, I think so. He hasn't looked as good. Şengün or Duren? That's a good one for the chat. Man, I really don't know. I think last year I certainly would have said Şengün. I think Duren is still in the upswing. He also is just generally a better fit. I just don't know that I see like crazy defensive play of the year upside. Or I mean, well, in a normal universe, not a Wembanyama universe, but all defense, shall we say, upside for Duren. I don't think I see that. Probably Şengün. Şengün doesn't do anything well. Yeah, I mean, I think he dribbles well for a big man. He can pass. I really would like to see him in an offense that featured his talents a little bit more. Oh, no, I would guess that you are a Rockets fan if you're saying that Şengün doesn't do anything well. Now, it's a good question. I definitely, my first thought is neither. All right, let's lock in here. 9-point game. And let's see if they stick with the doubling of Shai. McCain is back in, and I think they're going to try to run some screening action here. Nope, they just give Shai the ball. Again, look where Champagny is off of McCain. McCain's going to drive that action. Pulls up from the foul line. Victor can't bother him. And that's his ability to just be a little bit more of a threat from the outside versus where A.J. Mitchell has been really important against Wembanyama. Spain pick and roll here, set up with two bigs who are both over 7 feet. They had Victor as the pop man in the Spain pick and roll, but they couldn't get the jumper. OKC can go up 13 here, or 14. Shai moves Chet to the opposite side. Wants to force Victor to make a decision if he drives. Now he gets his guy Champagny. Vassell is double teaming. Caruso on the move, looking for McCain. McCain, left-handed pass. Williams, 3 over Cornette as the shot clock expires. And another three-point foul. OKC is up 14, and they are firmly in control now. Thanks to Richard for a $20 tip, man. Love it. Appreciate that. I think that's 5 threes for Jay Will. Yeah, that's probably the game they got. And this has just been a really awesome performance. And I think the Spurs need to go back to the drawing board. I think they are just too much gapping on Shai. Like I think I want to force Shai to score 40 on me with Victor on the floor, but while getting nothing at the rim. OKC is 15 of 34 on threes right now. They're getting very good looks. Shai gets Champagny again. Goes to his step back 3. Tried to draw the foul, didn't get it. Spurs looking for one last attack here. They've got Fox, Harper, no Castle on the floor right now. Fox going to work on Shai. Help comes over. Fox, he just got rejected by Shai. Harper recovers with 9 on the clock. Boxing out, it's Williams. And what do we have here? Going the other way. No. I thought he pointed the other way. Excuse me. Yeah, good call. He grabbed his jersey. Excellent call there. Or did they call this on Jay Will? Excuse me. Oh, yeah. Wow, that's a bad call. He was grabbing his jersey. Victor's gotten a couple of fouls on Jay Will here. Or sorry, no, they did call it on J. Will. All right, I'm on another planet here. Fox with the three, rebounded by McCain. I shouldn't do these. This has been like a 5-hour game I'm doing solo. So OKC can probably end the game here with a bucket. Shai on the attack. Step back over Vassell. No. Rebounded by Champagny. Harper in transition. Again, just doesn't have the same level of aggression right now. Pops out. Good peel switch by McCain. Victor was trying to post up. J. Will pushed him out. Now he gets it again. Victor goes in, and he's clubbed from behind plus the foul. Yeah, he tried to give the hard foul, but that's why that flagrant needed to be called. Because he was ready to just really give it to him there, and he pulled back. Now, he still fought him, which was probably a bad idea, but that's why you call that flagrant earlier in the game, to set the tone that we're not going to tolerate these types of fouls when guys are out of position. Down to 12 still. Spurs will pressure, not let him walk the dog. Cason Wallace is back in. They just come at you in absolute waves. J. Will on the side. Shai trying to get the ball. Backdoor. Corner. Caruso. McCain going at Victor again. Finds Wallace. Victor switches onto him. Caruso cutting. Wallace gets Victor in the air. No foul. Victor is down behind the play. Hopefully he's all right. Into the front court, it's Harper. Now Castle. Victor looking to post up. Champagny on the drive. Good help by J. Will, but it doesn't matter. That's a really nice finish. They drove the front, and once again, the Spurs are back within 10. If they can get one more defensive stand, it could get interesting, just as it did at the end of game 2. So what happened to Victor there? Let me see if I can catch it. No, that was just the Shaolin monks taught him how to jump like that to avoid picking up a 3-shot foul. So with OKC up 10, Spurs are +9 now in Wembanyama's minutes after this latest improvement. Victor off the floor. They've been outscored 30-11. Hartenstein is back in, and they presumably here will either run some more pick and roll or some more elbow stuff with Hartenstein. Vassell is on Shai. Castle now is on McCain. Castle again just gapping way off. And here comes the double on Shai. A little more discipline. Caruso is right there. He got blocked from behind by Vassell. That was an incredible block. But no, it was not a block. He just missed the floater. Excuse me. Vassell bothered him from behind. Again, you'll have to excuse me as Mitch Johnson's going to get a use it or lose it here. You'll have to excuse me not being able to see it because of the geostationary orbit cam. Yeah, so this 66 points off the bench for the Thunder tonight is a new Thunder playoff record. Give you some of the stats in this one. Victor has 24, as I mentioned. Vassell has played really well. He's got 4 steals, 20 points, 6 of 11 from the field. So really efficient game for him. McCain has taken by far the most shots on the Thunder. He has 22 points on 21 shots. Actually, hasn't shot it well from 3, 2 for 10, but 8 of 11 from 2 for Jared McCain. And now a chance for the Spurs' last push. Caruso will match up Castle. Hartenstein is on Wembanyama. Now it's Harper. Vassell coming off the screen. Fires the 3 on McCain. Great box out by Hartenstein. That's the type of shot they need to make in this comeback. Again, they go to the double on Shai. I think this is useful here just simply to speed them up, but now Shai has it back, and he draws a total cheapo on Champagnie. Fox will limp back into the game. It's a 4-guard lineup for the Thunder. Shai going into Victor. Good help by Champagnie, forcing to pick it up. He'll try Vassell again. Floater, and he's drawn another foul. Vassell can't believe it. Shai now has been fouled 10 times in the game. 4 shooting fouls, 5 non-shooting, but some of those have been in the bonus, and the Spurs have now, despite the fact that OKC has fouled so much, the Spurs have actually committed 6 fouls in the bonus in this game. This is the Shai fouled sizzle reel right now. Up 13. It really has been quite a disjointed second half. Victor working off the ball. Look out, he's coming downhill. Eventually backed off as Wallace was there to take the charge. Pressure in the backcourt. Hartenstein gets it across. Caruso, so steady in this one. This 4-guard lineup for the Thunder is totally equipped to handle the pressure. Shai, again, makes the right pass with 10 on the clock. Wallace fires the 3. That was huge. 13-point game. Castle wants to involve Wembanyama again. Hand back. Victor doesn't take that 3. Maybe should have given this time and score. Now there's good pressure here. Down to 10. Good denial by Caruso on Fox. Finally, Castle gets on the ball. He had to hold it for like 10 seconds. Here's Castle's 3. That misses. OKC has it. 13-point game. Again, they get it into the front court. Caruso back to McCain, and they can run time again. Fox is on Shai. McCain is still being bothered. Mark Daigneault says, you ever going to call this foul? And finally he does. Let's see if he gets him here. All right, that's a foul. That's a foul. So is that. Yeah, okay. That's also a foul. That was a foul too. That he fouled him 5 times on that. Yeah, what did Victor do to himself there? I didn't see it, but yeah, Spurs fans heading for the exits here. 13-point game. We can, if he makes us, we can probably head to the exits too. All right. Well, thanks so much for joining me here on a solo pod, or not solo pod, but solo call. Unclear what the plan is for Game 4 because I had to do some travel for family stuff that came up. So I'm not sure if I will have good enough internet to do a live call on Sunday, but hopefully I will. Thanks again for joining us. Really appreciate it.